Dear students, I would like to welcome you to our video conference, Get Hired to Road to Success. Thank you all for watching and participating. By the means of this conference, we want to prepare you for your future career. Within the upcoming hour, you will listen to 3 guest speakers. Among others, they will share their first-hand experience, give you tips and tricks, and prepare you for challenges that you might face, all related to acting as a professional within the industry. Our first guest speaker is Bogdan Wieneken. He is a tourism management student, currently finalizing his studies by writing his thesis. Bogdan will share his experience about his internship completed, working abroad, and about his current position as partner support at Booking.com. Secondly, you will have a workshop with Mr. Stroof. He is a life coach and will do a short session with Kay from our team of organizers. They will be discussing very common issues for students during the process of employment. Mr. Stroof will give his professional advice on dealing with those issues. In the last speech, Pam, a third-year student, recently did her internship in Colombia. She will be answering a few questions, sharing her experience, challenges, and main lessons learned. This will be helpful for you, especially if you consider an internship abroad as well. In the course of this conference, we are organizing a lottery with 8 amazing prizes. Among others, we give away tickets for boat cruises and tickets for the Anne Frank House and the Rijksmuseum. To participate, you will only need to leave a comment in the comment box, including your student number. Your comment could be a question, but it could also be what you've learned while watching this conference. The winners will be picked randomly from all the comments left. Make sure to write your comment while or after watching this video, as the winners will be announced this evening on our Facebook event. One thing we would kindly ask you to do is to follow the link in the description of the video. It will take you to a Google form, which requires you to fill in name and student number. This is important for you, as it will record your participation in this conference. Additionally, it would be appreciated if you answer the following questions of the form, as well, as this section relates to our performance as organizers. The first 50 submitters of the form will receive a cotton bag as reward. As you might be aware, this conference was supposed to be held in the auditorium of our university. However, due to the measures which must be taken in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, we had no other choice than to convert this conference into an online version, so that everyone stays safe and healthy. Although we had to make some adjustments, we worked extremely hard on providing you as much as valuable content as we would have at the physical conference. On behalf of the team of organizers, we would like to wish you all the best in this difficult time. Alright, I'd like to turn it over to the first guest speaker. Please give a big round of applause.
Hello and welcome everyone, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, students and students. Welcome to my house. My name is Bogdan and I will be your speaker for the next 15 minutes. Thanks a lot for having me and for inviting me. This is a personal thanks to the organizers for thinking about me. I'm really bummed out that we couldn't meet in person. Also with the viewers right now, it would have been amazing to do this together, meet, discuss after the Congress, and have some fun together. But in the given circumstances, I really appreciate the effort of the organizers and everyone that put this together to make it happen. So thanks a lot for that. Now, what will happen in the next 15 minutes is that I will share my knowledge from my experience in the tourism management course, as I am a 4th year tourism management student and I am aiming at finishing my studies this year. Hopefully with some helpful tips and tricks and what worked for me to get hired and to have a successful university experience and work experience in the future. Now, as you can see, I'm not the most experienced of the grid, I'm not the oldest one, so I hope what I say is helpful for you. I'm just a little bit further up than you in the study, so I really hope that the knowledge will be helpful for you in the near future, so that you can get through the study and help you to make some choices. As I said, I will only tell you from what I know, from my experience. You take what is helpful for you and leave the rest for the others. Now, let's begin. My name is Bogdan. With your permission, I will tell you a little bit about my background so you know where I come from, so you know that what I'm saying is based on real life, on real experiences, real people, real places that I've been to. So I started this course 5 years ago. I came to the Netherlands when I was 19. I wanted to be independent and I left home. In the first year of the study, I was an Ask a Student, which means that I received questions from students that were interested in the university and I answered them on the email. I also started being a student ambassador, which means that I went to congresses with the university around Europe, in Slovenia, in Germany, or in Romania, to promote the university and to tell interested students what we are about and what they can expect from studying here or working and living in the Netherlands. Over the second year, I was also the president of the Erasmus board in our university. Maybe some of you are already in exchange, or some of you want to do it, or some of you want to be part of the board. Well, I was part of the board 1 year. It was really fun. We organized trips and parties and gatherings for Inholland for the students that came here. In the third year of my study, I went to do a minor as an exchange abroad. So I went to Spain for half a year, to Valencia. After that, I went to Australia to do my internship. I was there for 6 months. I worked as a travel agent in the largest chain of travel agencies in the Southeast Pacific area. I sold trips all around Australia, New Zealand, and Asia. After that, I stayed in Australia for half more year, and then I came back last February. I did my minor in sustainable travel at Inholland Haarlem, and now I'm hoping to end my bachelor at the end of this year. So this was a little bit about my bio. Now, what I want to start with is the trajectory after year 2, because as I know, most of you are in this step right now. Now, what I can really recommend, and I cannot stress enough, is do the experience abroad. I know some of you are internationals, they're already abroad here, but it's a different feeling when you come here to study for longer time, or maybe even stay for the rest of your life. This becomes your home. But if you go somewhere for 6 months, you want to get the most out of those 6 months. So it's a completely different experience than if you move abroad really for a longer period of time. So I cannot encourage you enough to go on a minor abroad. For that, I have 2 tips. First of all, focus on your languages. I did this mistake in the first years and I had a problem with one exam in Spanish. I went to Valencia, I went to Spain, so I had to pass all my Spanish exams. I had a problem with one of them, and I really had to push and of course to work a lot in order to go to Valencia. So focus on your language. You know, if you skip that Spanish class because it's at 8:30 in the morning, or you're just not in the mood, if you want to go abroad, don't do that. So go to the language classes. The other tip for the minor is go somewhere that's cheaper where you live right now. I don't know if you will be able to sustain yourself without work, but when I was in the second year, I had to work part-time parallel to my university. So I chose Spain because it was a little bit cheaper than where I lived. It's really hard to sustain yourself, especially when you go abroad. It's really hard to find a job directly and for 6 months. So I chose somewhere a little bit cheaper. Now, this of course depends on each person, so that's not my main point of this. My main point is go abroad for your exchange. And why I'm saying that is because this is your abroad experience before actually starting to work. Your internship means that you will have to work. Now your minor in the 4th year means that you will not have to work properly, so 5 days a week, so to say, but it's a lot of work within the minor. So, and then you will be back, in your own environment with your own work and so on and so on. So the internship abroad will be sort of the last big break, so to say, from the working world. Of course, you will have to study. Of course, you will have to make the courses there, but don't be afraid of that, because once you go there, you will figure it out. For me, I didn't know anything of Spanish before coming to this university in this first 2 years, as I said, I struggled a little bit, but I went to Spain and I had 5 courses in Spanish and 1 in English, and I managed all 5 of them. The student 10, you know, maybe 5.5, but it doesn't matter. I managed to get through it. So I focused on, you know, getting my language exams. I went there and then I figured it out. So don't be afraid of what's happening there or that you cannot manage, because you will figure it out. So go abroad, it will be really awesome. Secondly, I want to talk about internship a little bit. This was a really big issue for me. I was very unsure of where to go, what company to choose, what will help me for the future, what will not help me for the future. So I was really stressing out about that. I was also in Spain, as I said, this exchange experience, you know, really a lot of fun. And then suddenly I have to look for an internship. So first of all, try not to stress. And I will tell you why. Because this experience will help you a lot, but it will help you like a compass. So from the internship experience, you will figure out, okay, I am good for this job, or I am not good for this job. So the internship that you choose doesn't mean that you will stick to that job, that will be your, so to say, anchor in your career. It will help you a lot because it will make you figure out, hey, I'm good at an office job, or I'm good at a job outside, or I don't want to do this kind of job anymore. So it's, as I said, sort of like a direction. So don't stress too much about the internship and what you will do in it, right? So try to focus on the experience, you know, try to focus to go somewhere and that you have something. So don't think, you know, you have to make it to the UN or you have to make it to huge companies and stuff. Huge companies usually do not have internships anyway. So try to set a priority that works for you. For example, my priority was always to travel. So from the start of the course and throughout my internship, I focused on traveling. After my minor, I said, okay, I want to go outside of Europe. So that's where I looked. I didn't look for an internship within Europe. And then I finally found this internship in Australia, and it was amazing. I had no idea that it would be so fun. When I thought about working in a travel agency, I was bored because travel agencies look different here. So again, those thoughts, but then I arrived there and it was actually amazing. I had a great work environment. Those 6 months of working Monday to Friday passed in a jiffy. And besides that, I could travel for free all around Australia because I did familiarization trips, which is trips for travel agents that experience the trip so they can sell it better. So I could never expect what I took from that experience and what I could bring back with me. So really try to set a priority, but not the job itself. Because, for example, I know colleagues of mine that worked for the UN and then now when they finish university they work in a startup. I know people that worked in a startup, for example, Travelbird does not even exist anymore. But it was a great experience for them because they saw the startup environment. But that's what I mean. Don't stress about it too much because it will help you anyway. Try to set a priority. Even fun, having fun could be a priority. We all know that university is important, but we also all know that we set some other priorities. And if your priority is fun, that's fine. Do the rest properly, but if you want to have fun, then go in a city that's fun. Go in a place that's fun. So don't stress about too much what we will do, it will happen anyway. And secondly, a tip that really helped me a lot was to look within the university options. You don't have the list right now, but the university will give you a list of options. There are a lot of internships out there and there are a lot of companies that try to charge you to find an internship. That's a really big trap. Internship is unpaid work. And we will get here, this is my third point. This is unpaid work. So every company that offers internships will take you because you offer them services, you offer them value with no payment. So if anyone asks you to pay money for that, that's a trap. That's not okay. So this has happened to me while looking. I was about to pay a company to find me an internship in South America, but then luckily I said, okay, let's ask the university first, let's look at those options. And I asked, and then this amazing internship came as a recommendation from a teacher. So to make it easy for yourself, of course, try to look for yourself. If you have other interests, do it. But to make it easy for yourself, stick with the university choices. The university has long-term partnerships, and the company that I've been to was really the best experience that I could have gotten. Now, my third point is related to this unpaid work. A lot of people worry that their CV is not good enough, that they don't have too much experience in the field, that they haven't achieved anything, that they haven't done anything, so that can show their CV, and then they think, oh, what is going to happen when I will send the CV to the company? Guys, again, internships are unpaid work. It's very rarely, and here in the Netherlands you get a little bit. I also got in Australia $100 a week, but my rent was $200 a week. So I still got something, and thanks for that. But it was still unpaid. I was working 40 hours a week. So the companies that offer that don't really look at your CV. It's unpaid work. They will teach you. And this brings me to the third point, and this is getting hired. I work for Booking.com since a year now. Before that, I worked for various just small cafes and small companies here around the area. But one thing that has helped me a lot was my CV, and I think because of that I was also called by the company really fast by Booking, and I was also offered a better position than what I applied for. I applied for guest services, and I was offered the position on the hotels. And I think this is really thanks or due to having a strong CV. And the first sort of myth that I want to destroy is that in the CV you have to sell yourself. Guys, we are not products. A product you have to market and you have to sell so that it's sold for money once. Okay, the buyer gives you the money, you sold the product, it's done. Okay, of course, if you talk business, it's not done. You have customer service and tralala. Okay, but the main point is you pay money for a product, for something that then you get. An employer, you are not a product. You will stay there probably for a longer time. So you're not a set product. You're not like that and that's it. Humans evolve, humans learn. What companies want to see is that you have that potential, that you're not stuck somewhere and you don't know where you want to develop and where you want to go. So in your CV, don't try to sell yourself, try to praise yourself. When you give compliments to someone, you praise that someone. You look very nice today, or your achievement has made me really happy. This is what you have to write there. So give yourself compliments in your CV. Don't try to sell yourself, because then you're an object, and we're not objects. Secondly, try to focus on your achievements. What I always did in my CVs was I wrote my achievement on there. So what I did, for example, let me give you an example. When I was part of the Erasmus board, of course, we had to manage events, we had to market events, we have to create trips, I guided tours, and so on and so on. But what I have achieved, for example, was that I had a participation rate of the students much higher than the years before me, and also I managed to sell the Erasmus card by 90% to students. So this is exactly what I wrote in my CV. As the president of the Erasmus board, my responsibilities were that and that, through which I achieved a better participation by 60%, and I sold the ESN card by 90%. Not a lot of people do this, but this is a really good trick that has helped me, and I really received answers for all the companies that I applied for. And I really think it's because of that, because you focus on achievements, right? Not I was this, I was that, I was the president, so to say, you brag about it. No, I was the president, but this is what I did. I'm repeating myself, but this is a really important point for me. In your CV, write what you have achieved. For example, if you only have your university as an achievement, a project that you did, put it in there. During my university in tourism management, I got a 9 for that. So that shows that you have that skill. Okay? So these are the first 2 tips for getting hired. Do not sell yourself, praise yourself, and always focus on achievement. This is the CV. Now, third, and to wrap it up, because I'm over time a little bit, to wrap it up, you're at the beginning, so what you should focus on is getting experiences right now. Don't think about the work environment, don't think about how you'll be a professional. Get experience, get life experience. You have no idea how it will be in the companies that you will end up with, and also you have no idea that this information that you're getting now will be actually helpful in 5 or 10 years to come. So try to get as many experiences as possible, travel as much as possible, and get that life experience done, and this will help you the most in any job that you will make. As a wrap up, just to recap a little bit, my tips for you are, first of all, to set some goals, see what's right for you, travel as much as possible, and within work, don't try to sell yourself, but try to praise yourself and focus on achievements. So thank you for the time. I hope you enjoyed what I said here. I hope it's really helpful for you over the next period of time. I am Bogdan. Don't hesitate to contact me, Bogdan Vinikin on Facebook, or you can also drop me an email. That's 570235 at student.inholland.nl. Of course, if you have any more questions, it was really, really nice to see you all. Ciao, ciao.
Hello, hi. Hey, my name is Kai. Good to meet you. I'm here because I'm a first-year tourism student, and I'm struggling with some things in life, especially when I apply for jobs or interviews. Like some fears that I have or insecurities, and I would like to talk about it, or I don't know, find out a way how to deal with it.
Okay. Wow.
So I made some questions, and maybe you can help me with it. I'm scared to apply for certain jobs and internships that appeal to me, because I'm afraid that I don't possess the skills which are needed. And yeah, I'm just a bit insecure about it, like whether I'm good enough for it. So I don't know how to tackle that problem.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as a former member of a board of directors, I've seen a lot of people, applicants who wants to get a job. I think some hundreds. It's very important when you are going for a job interview. You show yourself with a kind of self-consciousness.
Yeah.
This kind of confidence, with an attitude which shows that you are willing to get that job.
Yeah.
It's hard to get some self-consciousness if you feel secure about yourself.
Yeah.
When you are uncertain about a job, and if your skills are enough for this profession. But the only thing you can show is when you are real life, when you are show yourself as an interested, willing person who wants to get that job.
Yeah.
And of course, it's very important to show that you are willing to develop.
Yeah.
And you don't know everything, you don't have the experience yet, but you are willing to get it.
Yeah.
It's worth to get it. So that's very important.
Yeah, that you show that I'm willing, and even if the job doesn't fit me, at least I show it, and at least I try it.
Yeah. And to be a real person.
Yeah.
Don't make a rule from it.
Yeah.
Don't show yourself in a way it's not fitting with your personality.
Yeah, who I'm real.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very important.
Yeah.
So, as a matter of fact, the first 2 minutes are enough for me to experience if the applicant is a fit for the job.
Yeah.
It's just 2 minutes, and all the other minutes which are following, let's say 50 minutes or half an hour, I don't know, is just to to prove that that's the right person.
Yeah.
But the first I see on the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. The
They
first
are
2 minutes
very
are
important.
Yeah.
And which I can advise is look in the eyes of the other.
Yeah.
Look in the eyes. Sometimes they are shy for themselves,
Yeah.
but don't shy for yourself. Sit in a right way.
Yeah. Comfortable way.
Yes. Don't sit so this way.
Yeah.
Just let's show you're eager to get this job.
Yeah.
You're interested in the job. You're honest. That's very important.
Yeah.
Look to your persons who are opposite you. That's very important.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, thanks. And also like concerning the interviewing and job interview. So what if I get rejected? Like, what is the best way for me to deal with rejection?
Yeah.
Because I think like if I get rejected for something I really want to, I can get disappointed, or I might feel that I'm not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I see. There's another thing I want to answer before I answer this question. Some people are a little bit shy about their education.
Yeah.
Know that when you are sitting at the opposite of a manager in a job interview, that you are equipped already because you had the right education.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't have the experience, but it's only for the one to see if it's right one. It's very necessary to feel that there's the right attitude.
Yeah.
Now your question about rejection, I have to talk about Olympic champion Peter van der Hoofdband.
Yeah.
It was an Olympic swimmer, one of the best we had in the Netherlands, and he had a performance and he told us that round about 99 times he tried to get the gold medal, but 99 times he didn't get it. Only once he got the gold medal. So I always have remembered this, because there are so many people who are rejected for jobs, for titles. And if you remember the music program as Idols or the Britain Got Talent, they always, what impresses me is when people are really willing to let him or her show what's his talent and quality is.
Yeah.
So that's very important to know that there are more rejections than that you get a job.
Yeah.
But don't be disappointed, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
And it's kind of education in your performance, about your experience.
Yeah.
This is also experience.
Yeah. Rejection also is part of the experience, I guess. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not so. There's no. It's not a shame
No.
to be rejected.
No.
It's part of the game, and most of people have been rejected once or more.
Yeah. True.
Well,
and I think you can learn from it as well.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
can think about it. Perhaps this is not the job for me. And it's
Yeah.
also it gives you some strength
Yeah.
to realize that perhaps this is not the job for me.
Yeah.
But if you nevertheless want to get this job, go ahead and try again.
Yeah.
Try again. So the company knows that you are really motivated to get this job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. And also like something which I experience when I'm going for a job is that I'm very like stressed or a little bit nervous. So I wanted to know, how can I make myself more relaxed before or during an interview?
Yeah. Well, perhaps it sounds so strange, but I think if you are going in a job interview and you are nervous, which is normal,
Yeah.
well, before you are going in this interview, or you're starting this interview, get inside, close your eyes for some time and breathe. Breathing is the first thing we people do when we are born.
Yeah.
The first thing is breathing. It's an alignment of life. And so if you are going to sit before a job interview, close your eyes, you're going to breathe, keep it 2 seconds, breathe out, and get your shoulders down. Only 4 or 5 times, that's enough. If there are no opportunity, there's also a toilet where you can sit down.
Yeah.
And take the time to get inside and to visualize your strength.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah.
And it sounds a little bit spiritual, but in my opinion, that's the most important thing to do.
Yeah, to get close to yourself, because that's
Yes.
where your strength is, and
Yeah.
where
That's what I
you
mean.
can be most yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's definitely helpful. Then
And perhaps it's also important to realize that life is as the river flows.
Mhm.
If you can accept that things happen as they happen, that are facts.
yeah.
It's not that you need to accept all things, but if you can realize that life is as a river, it's flowing as a river,
Yeah.
and you're going with the river. If you are fighting for something and you get your strength against another, and the other man or woman is
Yeah.
fighting it.
Or if you go against the river, against the
Yes,
flow of the
you
river.
go with
then
the flow.
Yeah, you go with the flow. 'Cause if you
Everything
go against
comes
it, it doesn't work.
easier to you.
Yeah.
If you go with the flow,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
confidence,
Yeah.
that's the way. And if it's really meaningful for you to get that job,
Mhm.
try again.
Yeah.
Feel comfortable, try again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, and then
I have another one. If you know, perhaps you know Pippi Langkous.
Mhm.
Pippi Langkous was a child.
Yeah.
And it was very
From
nice.
Sweden.
In
Pippi,
Sweden?
I don't know her name. Pippi Longbottom, I think she's called.
Okay, yes, you know.
Yeah.
And there's an announcement spelled from her, and something like this. I've never done it before, so I think I can handle this. And that's a very inspiring
Yeah.
spell. So try. If you haven't done something before,
Mhm.
just try it.
Yeah.
Only by trying and you are developing. So don't be afraid.
And you have nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
only can learn and you can educate yourself and
Yeah.
develop yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what aspects should I bear in mind or should I take into consideration when I apply for a job so that I know that it fits me as a person?
Yeah.
I find that something which is always hard, but I'm still struggling with
Yeah.
that in a way.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine that there are some jobs which you have not very consideration or validation about your
Yeah.
feeling about it.
Mhm.
But I only can say try to focus on your heart.
Yeah.
Follow your heart. If it feels good, and that's a feeling, it's again go inside to your inner drives
Yeah. Yeah.
and zoek, research your feelings about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know which is in the job. So, and when you started, there are some aspects which you don't like, but every work which you are going to do any time in your life
Yeah.
has some aspects which are not very liked
Yeah.
things to do.
Mhm.
But you can learn about it. You can learn about what you like and what you don't like.
Mhm.
So also this is something about development.
Yeah.
So be connected with your feelings.
Yeah.
That's very important. And there are no jobs which are perfect. We as people are not perfect, and our jobs aren't.
Yeah, maybe I think also like maybe if I try something that would fit me at one stage of one phase of my life, but then I grow over it, and then maybe something else is fitted.
Yeah.
So I just have to see it as an experience, I guess. Everything I do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. And also like if I apply for a job, do you advise me to apply for multiple jobs or internships at the same time, or do you think if one company feels really good that I just should stick it with that one and not look around for other jobs?
Yeah. Well, I think there are more aspects and more jobs which you can like. Of course, it's very important if you focused on one of these jobs you like. There's a greater stream to this job, but you don't know if they see your talents, if they see your need to develop, etc. So, in my opinion, it's always good to see what's in the store.
Yeah.
And there are several jobs which also can fit, and so don't stick to just one job. You think it's very nice.
Yeah.
There are many more jobs which can be.
Which can be nice. Yeah.
And you only know when you are going to follow your heart and to start with one of those jobs.
Yeah.
And none of the jobs is for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's also true. I think that's very important to realize that it can be temporary. It can be like for 2 years or 3 years, and then it can move on with something else.
And if your attitude is one that you always learn from the company where you're in, the people where you're working with, well, it's kind of developing also.
Yeah, because that was also my last question. Is how do I make sure that I can keep developing myself at the job or internship that I applied for? Because I think it's very important to develop myself, but I don't know how I can make sure of that when I apply for something that they want me to grow.
Yeah. Well, I think as I already told, it's also a matter of attitude.
Yeah.
If you are willing to learn from conversation with people, with some computer programs, I don't know what you are going to do, but there are a lot of aspects in the job from which you can learn. So that's the basic attitude. And if you are going to discuss with your manager that you, after some time, you want some more development, and have a conversation with him and prepare on what things are where you're willing to develop. Sometimes there's an application, sometimes there's another part of the job that you can do, like another apartment. There are different ways to get developed. So it means that you have an active attitude. That's important, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I think for now you have answered all my questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, of course. My name is Pam. I'm third year student of tourism management, and last year I went abroad to go to Medellin to do my internship there at Selena, which is a hostel, and I worked there for 5 months.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about your internship abroad.
Yes,
Can
it's
you?
the most important thing
Okay.
for this conference.
Perfect. So can you tell me some of the challenges you faced and how you dealt with those challenges?
I think the most different things were the cultural difference. When I was in a meeting, people were not coming because time was not the most important thing for them. Also, the language was like I feel like a distance between me and my colleagues, because they were speaking almost every time Spanish, and my Spanish was not that good. And my English was good, but their English was not that good. And that was really difficult when we had a meeting with a lot of people, and I didn't understand nothing about like the Spanish things that they were saying.
Yeah. Okay. You explained it very clearly. So, what would you do differently when you would look for an internship abroad compared to the things you did now?
So I started, I think, in my second year in January. And I started with texting companies, but also texting teachers if they have maybe network in Colombia. Because I think the most important thing what you have to do is first know what you want and know where you want to do your internship, and then looking if people know somebody there. So that was the first thing I did. But since Colombia is 3 years a little bit more touristic, no interns have ever been there. So that was a challenge, and I texted a lot of people, but nobody responded me. So what I did was I how can you say that? I hired a
You hired a mediator.
Exactly. Yeah.
You hired a mediator.
So somebody who knows Medellin and who knows some workplaces where I can do my internship.
Okay.
But at that moment, also my internship that I texted, or my company that I texted, respond like, oh, we are really interested that you're doing your internship over there. So the only thing that the intermediate people did for me was arranging a homestay.
Okay.
And that was also kind of difficult, because I think if I did it with the company there, that was more easier than doing it with the mediator. Because my homestay was like a student house with 17 people, and before Medellin I was living with my parents, so I was like really free, had a big room, and when I came there it was like a really small room and I had to deal with 17 people. So that was quite a hard thing. So the most important thing to do differently the second time is, I think, not doing it with an intermediate person.
Just you recommend to do it directly with the people over there of the company, or just ask around with local people?
Yeah, you have to be patient with getting your internship, because as I was saying, like, time is not there. They are really different with time, because if we want to arrange an internship, we are looking for it like 4 months before, but they are like 2 months, we still have time, enough time. So they will text you, but they will text you not in January, but in May or in June, when the internship is almost started.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. So another question. What was the most valuable thing you learned during your internship?
I think the most valuable thing was my personal development. As I said before, I lived with my parents before I went to Medellin, and then I came there and I had to do things alone. I had to arrange things in a totally different country where I didn't speak the language so well, and that was quite hard actually, but I learned a lot from it.
Awesome.
And also I think you develop yourself of homesickness. Sometimes I had homesickness, which is very normal, I think, and you have to deal with that at that moment, and how to deal with it, that's the question. Yeah, that's the development, I think.
Okay, good to know. Okay, so what qualities were most important for your job? So, did you have them, those qualities that were important, or did you have to develop them?
I think you have to be self-conscious to go to study abroad, because you have to deal with a lot of stuff, or stuff that are not normal as usual for you, and you have to be straight to the point to deal with that kind of things. I think also creativity is a thing that is really important if you go to study abroad. You have to find your own place, you have to find your own activities that you do, you have to find your own friends, you have to find your way to do things. Also, you do different tasks at the company, and I never did task actually before, so I had to do things that I never did, and you have to do it in a way that they want, and so you use your brain and creativity.
Okay, so you say self-consciousness, creativity are important, like qualities you should have when you go abroad.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And actually, what type of person would you recommend it to go abroad? Is this like the average person
I think not.
of the studies?
I think not. Yeah, what is the average person?
Mm-hmm.
But I think on the first place you want to develop yourself. You want to be out of the box. You want to think out of the box. You want to go in a total different country. I think
to be challenged in a different way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think if you want to really learn, like in the Netherlands, I think you are going to learn more about a knowledge, like about I don't know, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, all the kind of stuff.
Like the technology.
Exactly, reservation systems. But I think if you go abroad, you do different tasks. So you do creating a poster. That was what I did. I was more like marketing, and then the creativity of the marketing. Because I didn't understand anything of the Excel sheet because they were in Spanish. And also that is kind of difficult. So I think the most important thing is self-development. If you want to learn yourself how to deal with stuff, and not if you really want to learn about reservation systems or that kind of things.
Okay. So what was the most interesting and pleasant, rewarding part of your internship abroad?
So
if you can name one thing, the most important, rewarding thing.
So what I did was I was creating a communication plan because the communication in that company was quite bad for me. And I did that with surveys for the guests. I did it with interviews for my colleagues there, and actually the results were very useful for them, and they were like, "Oh, thank you so much for doing that." The communication plan was very useful, and I think that is the most rewarding thing I ever did, because I did it, and I went to Colombia and I did the communication plan, and I've been there, and that's for me the most rewarding thing if I'm looking back at that kind of moments.
Okay, so I would like to conclude the interview then.
Yes.
I think you explained everything very clearly, and I want to thank you for your time.
Wow, how inspiring were those speeches. I think it is safe to say that we can all benefit from what we've learned today. On behalf of the entire team, I would like to thank you all once more for participating in this video conference. We highly appreciate it. Related to the lottery, I would like to announce that we have 2 tickets for the Anne Frank House, 2 tickets for the Rijksmuseum, 2 tickets for a boat cruise from the Lovers Company, and 2 bottles of wine. Those are in total 8 prizes, which will be given to 8 randomly picked winners who left a comment in the comment box of the video. The winners of the prizes will be announced on the page of the Facebook event later this evening, and the prizes can be picked up once school has opened its doors again. All questions posted in the comment section will be answered on the same page. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us through Facebook. Also, please don't forget to fill in the feedback form. The link to the form can be found in the description below the video. I would like to remind you again that by submitting this form, we will also record your participation in the video conference. Additionally, it would be great if you could answer the questions about us as organizers. Some feedback will help us to grow as well. I hereby conclude this conference from our side by wishing you all the best, and I hope you move right into the second conference after your break.